Yeah, sick of dreaming of my old chick. Sick of being on some broke shit. Sick of showing no emotions. Got a nigga losing focus. So I'm going on a road trip. Got my bags packed with some dro lit during COVIDs when I wrote this masterpiece, magnum opus. I ain't joking, I hope there's more for me. It costs to live, we can explore for free. Dreams of waking up on a gorgeous beach. Lazy, I never could afford.
What up, world? It's your boy BA for Real 100, and welcome to Get Your Bars Up Media. Salute, salute, salute. So today we have us another special guest, y'all. When I say Jersey, when I say up and coming, when I say the future, one of the future bright spots of battle rap, yes sir, yes sir, Mr. Real Sikh. What's good with it, brethren?
What's up, man? Thanks for the good words. What's up, man? Glad to be, you know what I mean, on the show. I watch your reviews anytime you review something, you know what I mean? So
appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, definitely. You definitely been having your bars up lately. Like people shouldn't even tell you to get your bars up. But before we get to that point, bro, I want to ask you, starting from your beginning, bro, like what was what inspired you to step into battle rap and actually be like, yo, I'm going to actually do this and pursue it?
Well, I wrote my first rhyme when I was like, my bad, can you still see me? Something came up. Okay. Yeah. I wrote my first rhyme when I was like 8 years old. Ooh. So I was always into hip hop, and my culture is very musical too. I just couldn't relate to it because I grew up in America, you know. So when I heard hip hop, I kind of related to it because it was like, you know, it was talking about, you know, the struggle. It was about fighting back. It had a warrior mentality. And I know a lot of people don't know about Sikhism, my religion, but it's the same thing. We're a religion of warriors. We're not a passive religion. You know what I mean? Like, we don't believe in turn the other cheek. We're warriors. You know what I mean? So hip hop kind of it like merged together with that world. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you know, if you look like me, growing up after 9/11, it was lit for you. You know what I'm saying? It was lit, you know what I'm saying? So like I was getting in fights all the time because racism, I was introduced to racism at a young age. I was born in 94. Yeah. So I was about to turn 7 years old when that shit happened. You know what I mean? So I was getting in a lot of fights and shit. So like when I saw hip hop and heard hip hop, I like related to it a little more. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then so my bad. I like explaining things before I answer the question.
Talk your ish, bro. Talk your ish.
So I got introduced, when I got introduced to hip hop, I got introduced to the concept of a MC versus a rapper, right? So you got different kind of rappers. You got fast rappers, slow rappers, storytellers, lyricists, party rappers, battle rappers, freestylers, whatever. You got all these different kind of rappers, and an MC can do everything. That's a fact. An MC can do all of that shit. If you turn a beat off, he's gonna spit an acapella that's crazy. He'll kill a cipher. He could battle. He could tell a story. He's crazy over beats. You know what I mean? He could do everything. Or she. You know what I mean? So I got introduced to that concept, and you know that was also around the time where, you know how it's respectful to. Hold on, my bad. I keep getting this. I need to plug my charger's like fucking up. But anyway, you know how it's respectful to check in with the OGs before you walk through a hood? So it's the same thing with hip hop. I couldn't call myself an MC if I didn't know all the MCs that came before me. You know, so I went back and I was, you know, doing my history on G-Rap, Rakim, Big L, Big Pun, all of those, right? The legends. And so around this time, so I was making a lot of music and shit like that, but I didn't battle until high school. You know what I mean? And that's when I started getting in battles a lot, because ciphers just turned into battles. You know what I mean? Yeah. When people run out of raps, the cipher starts getting smaller and smaller, and then it's just two guys left, and then y'all end up battling each other. Even if it was just like a verse for verse battle like it used to be, or if it you know, y'all started battling each other. You know what I mean? So that's how I started battling. I didn't jump into the ring like on camera until 2015. You know what I mean?
Ah,
But before then, yeah, I was battling all the time. I had a studio, or my boy had a studio in East Orange, New Jersey. I'd go there. I'd end up battling people over there. I lived in Camden, New Jersey for a while. I battled people over there. Like, yeah, I was just, you know what I mean, just
yeah.
doing it. Yeah,
So
just being a rapper. So,
so your first battle on cam,
mhm.
who was it and what was that feeling like for you?
My first battle on cam was a UW tournament. Shout out to UW, Arsenal, L Wisdom, Ray Swag, all of them. It was a tournament on UW, and I battled this dude named Authentic, right?
Yeah.
And so this is the crazy story. So we both battled each other, and they couldn't decide a winner. So they kept us both in the tournament. We ended up killing everybody else in the tournament and meeting again in the finals.
Oh,
So if you type in real sick versus authentic, there's a one rounder and then there's a three rounder. Because the
yeah.
one rounder was the intro to the tournament. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Shout out to Authentic. He's still battling this stuff. He's fire. Um, but yeah, so we had a one rounder and then we had a three rounder in the finals. You know what I'm saying? So um that shit was that whole experience was crazy. But the feeling I just had was just I wasn't nervous. I wasn't any of that. I was a little too aggressive looking back at it. Like I was like yelling more than I was like composed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I shouldn't have, I was just barking on him, you know what I mean? But but my style was also very multi-syllabic, heavy without like I would be rhyming more than I was punching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
So like, cause I love the art of rhyming. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
now, like, if you listen to me now, you could tell I like found out how to do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I found out how to do everything like that. Multis, punchlines, angles, jokes, all of that shit. So, but yeah. So that's how the first battle on cam went.
That's dope. That's dope. So with that being said, bro, as far as like battle rap, like what are some of your favorite battles that you grew up actually watching that
Mhm.
that inspired you to actually start doing this as well?
So the first battles I seen, Mook and J Mills,
Fire.
Jin and Verse.
Oh,
Um, I went back and watched because Eminem was one of the first rappers because of his popularity that I was like introduced to, and through him, because I remember he gave a speech saying, all the rappers that inspired him, and
yeah,
he named like the G Rap and the Rakim and some of the names that were there I hadn't heard of yet. So those were like Tribe Called Quest,
yeah,
Naughty by Nature, like people
facts.
like the Fat Boys. I didn't
Yeah.
know about the Fat Boys until like I heard him say it, and then I go back and I heard that beatboxing shit they were doing. You know what I mean? Um what was that? Oh, I went back and watched some of M's battles, right? And that's kind of like I was like, yo, are they still doing this? And then I found out it was a cappella. Mind you, when this is going on, I'm like 10 years old. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I'm just
yeah, so,
12
super
years old.
young.
Yeah, so I'm going through this shit on like my dad's computer, you know what I mean? Because I didn't have a computer yet.
Yeah,
And then and like to listen to the music, I had to go on LimeWire. Remember
yeah,
LimeWire to
that's a
download the
throwback.
shit?
That's a
Yeah, yeah.
throwback.
That's how I went back and listened to everything. So yeah, those were kind of the first obviously the Freestyle Friday battles. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely. 106 and
But
Park.
yeah, but yeah, I didn't really. Those were fire, and I always watched them. I always watched the Smack DVDs. One of my boys' father worked in New York, and when he'd come back sometimes with the Smack DVDs, so I'd watch those. Um, like I was always a fan of battle rap, and then for a while I kind of didn't see any battles online. And then I came across. I remember coming across. I think I typed in Jin's name, and then
Yeah,
him and Solomon popped up.
yeah,
I watched that, and now I'm introduced to Solomon, and I'm like, holy shit, this dude is crazy. Now I'm watching Solomon shit, and then I
yeah.
think the only two people that beat Solomon was Math and thesaurus. So now I
Yeah.
type in each one of their individual names. After typing in thesaurus, I see thesaurus versus disaster. Now I'm introduced to grind time. You know what I'm saying? And now like I type in math and I saw like math versus NEMS. Him and Rex didn't happen yet, but that's kind of like what let me know. Oh shit, this shit is still happening. You know what I mean? And so I was happy to know that because like around that time, so that's what 2008. Around that time, I'm in 8th grade, and that's the cool thing about my year is whatever year it was, that's what grade I was in.
That's
in 2008,
dope.
I was in 8th grade. I could remember, but where was I going with this? Oh, I knew that like people were still doing it, and I wanted to see shit like that because I wasn't listening to the shit that was popping in 2008. Like, unless it was like underground shit. You know, I just found out what Slaughterhouse was. And I'm bumping Crook, Royce, Joe, and Joel. I'm bumping Tech Nine. I'm bumping Elzai. I'm bumping people like that. And then, besides from them, I'm bumping 456 by G-Rap. You know what I mean? I'm bumping Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous by Big L.
What
and
you
then
know
like
about it?
the other kids, Capital Punishment, Big Pun. But like the other kids in my class are like, you know, they're bumping Chingy. Shout out to Chingy, but like that's not what I was
right
that's
there.
not what I was bumping. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not what I was into. You know what I mean? So it was good to see some real hip hop shit like battle rap still going on.
So with that being said, so how did you come up with the name Real Sick?
Real Sick.
For those who don't know much about how your history, should I say?
Yeah. I said a big part of growing up was realizing like, you know, I was fighting all the time. I can't stress that enough. I was always in fights because of some racist or racial altercation or something, like somebody saying something to me. So I only got along with other minorities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because they kind of understood what I was going through and shit, you know what I mean? But so I had some friends and shit like that, but I was mostly an introvert. And but the one thing I knew was, you know, from having those friends was a lot of people didn't know what a Sikh was. They didn't know the difference between Sikh and Muslim and Hindu and Middle Eastern, and obviously because we're like the newest religion compared to the other religions, because we were, you know, our religion was made in like the 1500s. Whereas, you know, Christianity and Judaism are like BC, like back in the day.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like in the UK, they know who we are. Like, because we've, you know, fought with them in wars. You know, we've had acts of bravery that are, you know, like holidays over there. So they know how to spot a Sikh. You know what I mean? But over here, the only time we see people from the southern coast of Asia, it's like, you know what I mean, something in the news about like a bombing or something. And then you see like a turban and a beard. So now when you see somebody with a turban and a beard, you'll know the difference. So let me explain the difference real quick.
That's a fact.
So the turban in like the Middle East and India and over there, the turban is like Tim's in New York. You know how it's a regional thing, how like everybody will wear Timbs like in New York. So over there, people will just wear turbans because it's a regional thing. But outside of that, when you're in multicultural societies like Canada, America, Australia, UK, whatever, and you see somebody with a turban and a beard, 9 times out of 10, they're Sikh. They're not Muslim. Muslim people, you know, they'll cut their mustache and they'll have beards or something, but they won't have that. They might be bald. People that have turbans on have hair, like they got a lot of hair, you know what I mean? So that's a sign of a Sikh, you know what I mean?
Really?
So 9 times out of 10, that person is Sikh. Yeah, so I'm only saying 9 times out of 10 because, you know, Nick Cannon's walking around here with a turban too. So you don't know if like maybe some people wear turbans that aren't, So but yeah, so when you're in multicultural societies, if somebody has a turban and a beard, most likely they're Sikh. You know what I mean? Another sign is they have like steel bangles on their hand or whatever. Cause like you know, like I said, we used to be warriors, and these used to go all the way up to our elbows. It used to be a long thing, like to block swords and shit. So this is a sign of another sign of us being warriors or whatever. But so people don't know that, right?
Yeah, I didn't
So
know
I
that
put
until you
Sikh
just
in my
broke it down.
name. Right, right. There's a whole bunch of other shit to go with it, but the I put Sikh in my name. One, I thought I was new to finding out what a double entendre was. I was like 12 years old. I was like, real sick, real sick. Oh, that's fire, right? But then also I put Sikh in. I spelled Sikh like that, so like maybe the idea was I'm gonna get known to the point when people type in my name, they'll see my shit, but then shit about Sikhism will also come up,
That's
and then people
dope.
will know a little bit more.
That's
Yeah, and
fire.
people will know a little bit more about my people. So then the little kid in kindergarten doesn't have to keep on answering what's on his head, what he believes and shit like that. Cause now I'm trying to make it like more known, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that was one reason. Two, you gotta know what you're doing, right? So hip hop is a black culture, right? So when
Yes.
you're not black in hip hop, especially if you battle rap, they're gonna tell you about it, right? So it's in my name. It's in my name to get the elephant out of the room. Like, yeah, so what? Type shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is me. I'm not trying to be anything else. Let me make it clear. I'm Sikh. I'm very proud of being Sikh, but I'm nice. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
so that
triple
was like
entendre?
another idea.
Is this
Yeah,
a triple? Is
probably.
this a
Yeah,
triple?
yeah, yeah.
It's
So
fire.
so there was a couple reasons. One, to get it more known. Two, I thought it was a double entendre when I was a kid, and I was like, that's dope. Three, to kind of get the elephant out of the room. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the meaning behind it. But how I came up with that. Because before that, my rap name was like Big S or something like that. Because I was like a fan of Big Pun, Big L. So I was just like Big S.
Thanks,
Cool,
bro.
my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was something corny like that. So then I was like, I need something that makes more sense. And then it just stuck. You know what I mean? People started just saying, yo, Sick, what up? Instead of like my full name, they would just say Sick, what up? And then now it just stuck. You know what I mean? So
That's dope. That's
yeah,
dope,
that's
bro.
that's how it happened.
So so as far as 2020, we know that it's been a pandemic. The
Yeah,
virus has messed up a lot of different things, but
facts.
you've been shining through a lot of
Hmm.
this. Like,
Right.
what have you done differently now than your past few years of battle rapping?
Um. Well, I started writing my shit on paper
Yeah,
for like the Chiller battle, for example.
yeah,
That's when I like sat down and every word I had, I wrote it on paper. Because so like I used to always write, right? I used to always write on paper. But by my second battle, I was in a situation where I had to remove like a section of my second round and put it in my third and you know what I mean? Like switch around material.
yeah.
And I did it flawlessly because I remembered. So I started, experimenting, seeing how how good my memory was. You know what I mean? So like my third battle, I didn't write a word down. I was like, let me try this. And then it worked. I didn't slip. I didn't stumble, none of that. So I was like, yo, I started practicing that a little more because like the way I started writing was I'd open a notebook, the left side of the page, I would only write the words that I was rhyming with, right? So
Yeah.
like just the syllables, not the whole line, just the
Really?
syllables. I would just on the left side of the page, and then on the right side, I would write the whole rhyme out. You know what I mean? Because like the left side of that was like the brainstorming side. Because sometimes you think of something that rhymes with something, but it doesn't fit in the subject matter of the shit. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how I would do it. So like let me give you an example. Like against Chilla, I said Nightwing told all you vets, the class outside, it's a bomb threat. Who the fuck you think is the bomb connect, right? So I wrote down like everything leading on your head,
Fire.
all the vets, right? Bomb connect. And
Yeah.
now that was just supposed to be the punch. But then I was like, what else rhymes with bomb connect? And then it starts coming palms press. That's like a half. Palm
Yeah.
press on your neck. That's one. Cough then, loss of breath. Your cause of death increase your CPR percent. And I was like,
Ah!
perfect. That goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like it continues. So before you know, before I used to do that on the left side of the page, and then the right side of the page, I would write the lines out. So then by like my second and third battle, I just needed the left side. I didn't need to write the words out. And what I found that was doing was I was memorizing it as I was writing it, because now I'm seeing what I'm rhyming, I'm seeing bomb connect, and I know the line that comes before it. So now I'm just reading the syllables and I know the line, and I'm kind of memorizing it as I'm writing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just got used to that, and then I just, you know, I would only write something down if I was rhyming with a lot of words. You know what I'm saying? But to make sure I didn't repeat a word. And that I did that all the way up till Ultimate Madness. You know what I mean? Ultimate Madness comes, and I started going back to writing shit like on the left side of the page where I was just writing the syllables. You know what I mean? But then I was like, you know what? You know, I had my battle with Jay, I had my battle with Chaos, and then I was like, you know, for Chilla, I was like, one, he's the kingpin, right? And then I was like, and two, I know if I sit down and write the way that I used to write, shit's gonna come out better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter what, if I could come up with the fire shit that I've been coming up with, versus, you know, Kid Chaos, Jay the Nightwing, when I went to London, my PG, all my battles on iBattle, if I could do that, and I'm not giving it 100, I had to be honest with myself. I'm not giving it 100%. Let me sit down and write, and then I ended up writing my shit for Chilla in 5 days. Like all those three, because we only had 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks, me and Chilla. We had a little over. We had 16 days, so 2 weeks and 2 days. So I was sitting there, you know, I was brainstorming ideas, and that's when it came in, you know, because this all ties into COVID. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, we're home.
Yeah.
So like, even though we were kind of getting out of it when this battle was booked, it was just that idea, like, yo, I've been sitting here, and you know, I hadn't only been writing battle rhymes. I write every day almost. You know what I mean? I just to stay in the practice of the craft. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's one change I made that from now on I want to start doing.